Today's video is going to be on 5 different kinds of fragrances that you should not buy this spring. This one might be a little bit contentious, but we'll see what you guys think about it at the end. That being said, if you're already a fan of the top 5s or the top 10 lists I already do on this channel, please be sure to subscribe already so you get more of these in the near future. And if you also really like the video, also give this video a like too. And who knows, I might just hit you with another kind of top 5 once this video hits 500 likes. So let's get there, shall we? Anyway, roll intro, roll video. Alright, the first kind of fragrance you should not buy this spring is a cologne fragrance. Now, I'm not talking cologne fragrances that are often pricier, you know, the ones that are genuinely trying to improve upon a less expensive DNA, but instead we're talking about the Cool Waters, the Club de Nuit Intense Mans, things like that. And while these are really good at their price point and or super good value in general, are they really the ones that you want most? Now sure, if there are genuine characteristics of less expensive interpretations that you prefer personally, and or that supersedes the potential justification of buying an OG at a higher price point, then yes, get the interpretation, that's not a problem. But say if you are wearing this and there's still something left to be desired, and or wearing this just to ease your satisfaction temporarily, then why do that? Seriously, who are you trying to impress right now? There's still lots of isolation in the world that's happening right now, at least in my area. So if I feel like you can kind of afford a cheaper alternative currently, presuming you aren't going out as much so you can scrimp and save a little bit more for the one that you really want, then just do that, and then double down on your side hustle and or some overtime at work. So when all is said and done and you have enough money for the fragrance you really want, it'll feel that much more gratifying. So once more, inexpensive interpretations of fragrances are definitely a no-go for me this spring. Again, presuming they aren't the ones that you want most right now anyway. But now let's move on to the next kind of fragrance you should not buy this spring, and that is a club fragrance. Now if you naturally like fragrances that are projection monsters, that's great, you do you. But I will say that the majority of people out there, and perhaps the majority of you watching, do not want something that is that explosive off of your own skin. Like in comparison to some of the club staple fragrances out there, how many more fresh and or blue fragrances have since come out? So yeah, just saying, kind of not that versatile, especially for when it's warming up. And also again, like the last category, as far as us still kind of being locked down, are you also really going to the club with this stuff? Are you really going out like that? Because if I'm just kicking it by myself and or with the closest of loved ones, I don't think I have to be that pushy with my scent. So as great as those fragrances are, them sickly sweet bombs, the Eroses, the 1 millions, they're just no go for me right now, and potentially you, unless you get those occasions anytime soon. I can't even get my shots already in this part of the country, let alone have a proper night out like that. So yeah, club fragrances right now are definitely a no for me, dog. But now it's time for the next kind of fragrance you should skip this season, and that is a formal fragrance. Again, here's another one situationally. I just feel like any kind of important event or gala that you have to dress up for is likely to be potentially canceled, if not postponed, for the next season or perhaps the next year. So if I do feel like the fragrance I want might potentially be one that would only or primarily lean into one of those occasions, then it's best that I probably spend that money elsewhere, if not save it. And while I am also guilty of dressing down fragrances myself, we're talking my Amouage Lyric Mans and or Atelier des Oreillers Fauves, that kind of stuff. I just feel like the world is becoming and or is feeling a little bit more casual lately. And while I know some of you don't necessarily like bestowing specific occasions upon fragrances, I also feel like most people think that certain ones are easier to wear, and or these other certain ones establish this more distinguished aura. Case in point, a fragrance like Oud Noir from the Versace Pour Homme line. You know, with notes of oud, olibanum, leatherwood, things like that. It's just exotic overall. Maybe that's why you want to put it on a pedestal, and that's why it feels a little bit more formal. Versus the Dylan Blue from the same line, which smells very showery, marine, blue per se, and therefore easier to wear. Scents like these right now are why I would put those formal ones on the back burner again for now, until we get those occasions again. Fingers crossed we do so. We'll see. Anyway, moving on to the second last kind of fragrance that I would not get this spring, and that is any of your previous fragrances potentially. Now before I really get into this one, if you are really sold on a fragrance and your experience with it, and now you just want to refill it and or restock because you know you feel like you can't really go on in your fragrance journey without this bottle at all times, then yeah, do your thing, get it again. Like for me, I cannot be without a bottle of Gypsy Water from Byredo, so as a result, this is my second bottle. But say if I've already emptied something like this in Givenchy Pie, and there's this feeling about getting another one that might feel uneasy, then yeah, I will not be getting another one as a result. Reasons why might be you fall in love with something else in the same genre perhaps, and or you found something to do that same fragrance's initial role, but maybe better going forward for you right now. Or maybe you simply just got tired of the DNA, or maybe, and this is a maybe, it might even be reformulated, which I know there's a lot of y'all who also like denying things like that, which I think is kind of cute. But yeah, if there was ever a time that you wanted to mix it up, try something new, whether it's because you're feeling a little bit more adventurous and or you're looking for something that's even more versatile, or again, some of the roles that you are actually fulfilling right now during this pandemic, then yeah, go ahead, pursue that stuff because it might even be more fun. If you need more help with certain ideas, again, there's a lot of us here on YouTube where you might find some more inspiration, and or asking a sales associate, hopefully a really honest and good one, and or join forums and or Facebook groups, because there's also a lot of helpful people out there who hopefully also are not gatekeepers, because that's not very nice. But moving on to the last category, this is the last kind of fragrance that I do not think you should get this spring, and that is a fragrance you are buying mainly on hyped, a hype fragrance. But hey, let's just keep it a buck, and you know I always say it, if you can avoid blind buying completely, then avoid blind buying completely. Don't just get something because it is new or hyped. Sure, someone else you know or really trust also has it already and or really likes it, but don't just get it because of that. Like, if you know that person, have that person either send you a decanter or something like that, or if it's safe enough for you guys to meet up, perhaps try it, then do something like that too, because we all don't have the same level of perception and or the same taste verbatim. So maybe there's a part about a hype fragrance that might irk you just a little bit, enough to the point where this purchase would be one that goes awry, say if you actually made it. But I get it, fear of missing out or FOMO is very real. You'll naturally want something more if you're more consistently inundated on social media about maybe having this or this person enjoying that. But again, do what you can to avoid spending on a full-size 50 or 100 or perhaps higher ml bottle of whatever that is. Again, just at least off the bat, don't do it. So if you don't know anyone close enough for you, that's why you should be, again, on those forums, those Facebook groups. If you don't know someone, find someone. That's just how I feel. Buy into the actual fragrance itself, actually try it, actually test it, actually enjoy it, and then perhaps buy it. This shit's not a sprint, it's a marathon. That is your fragrance journey. Don't let your potential collection outlive you like mine potentially will over there. So like my elders say, do as I say and not as I do. But yeah, I think that about does it for me, forum. Thanks for tuning in as always. Again, I just want to make sure that you guys know it's okay to just simply long for something that other people have that you might not have ASAP, but you should never feel inadequate about not having it. Just only get those things if they are within means and you know you're going to enjoy it. So hope you feel me there, and if you do, give this video a like. Again, 500 is the like goal, but if we hit 500, then it's 600, and if we hit that, then it's 7, yada yada yada. So please, every bit of free support will help me produce more free content for you, so it goes both ways. And again, if you also want to be inundated with more of this too, then also be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. But until next time, take care for now. Peace out. Bye. My name is Manny. Wear your fragrances.